The Pulse of Spokane is a broad show that showcases many different things in our community, sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You.
Well, welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. Kent Adams here, and my guest is Scott Cook. Scott, how are you today?
Hey, Ken, how are you? Thanks for having me on.
Nice to have you on. You are, because I was looking at some of the material on you, you are a man of many talents. And I don't know if we have enough time to go through all of the things that you're involved in. But let's look at one that we're going to see pop up here in the next couple of years. And you're a minor investor in the new towers going in on the north side of the river, aren't you?
Yeah, you know about this. Just to be clear, I'm a minority partner. I have some capital tied in, but it's not the majority investment that we're after right now.
That's exciting though to see what's going to be there. And wasn't there some kind of artwork or something to show where it was going to go last summer or last fall?
Yeah, so they put up a purple butterfly. They call it the papillon. If you looked at it, commonly as we communicate with people, they say papillon, but it is French papillon. And so if you look for the purple butterfly, you will see that's essentially the location of where the South Tower, there's two towers, North and South Towers, are going up right next to, but you have the new Sportsplex off to the east, and the arena off to the west, sky view of downtown, and then we're hoping for some exciting news as to what's happening in the parking lot to the north of that. So it'll literally be surrounded by pretty much everything there is cool about Spokane, and at least in the downtown area.
Well, the heart of living and the heart of entertainment downtown too.
Right.
I mean, how exciting for us with the Riverfront Park being finished up this next year and so forth. And we're going to be looking good, aren't we?
Yeah, we hope so. I mean, the challenge is, as we all know, COVID has created interesting challenges, especially in the lending world. A lot of big money, they're apprehensive, rightfully so, to this particular investment is probably about $110 million investment. So you can imagine some of the big private equity firms are a little hesitant to jump in. But what we do think is we've got the best project in the Northwest. We're leveraging the opportunity zone, which is, it goes as far as to say even the base of the South Tower is going to have a year-round market. So, a lot of big towns like Portland and Seattle have a year-round market, like a Pike Place. There's nothing like that in Spokane. And so the base floor is going to house a year-round market regardless of the weather, which we think is pretty cool.
Oh, that's kind of fun. Well, let's talk about some of the other things you're doing. And you're doing LuckyBird's brand and Rincon Outdoor. What are those companies? What are those about?
we got our hands in a lot of interesting things. So let me step back. LuckyBird
does it keep you out of trouble though?
Well,
you don't have to answer that. You don't have to answer that.
Yeah. E-commerce is an interesting place to be. So LuckyBird brands, the kind of backstory behind LuckyBird is a focus on e-commerce. And so, we do a handful of different things, but one of the kind of subcategories of things that we do are we build and eventually sell private label brands. So Rincon, which you just mentioned, is one of those brands. It's a hammock and outdoor company that we're basically building from scratch. And so you can see on that picture that you've got up right there is this really cool new thing we've created called a hammock hitch, which essentially attaches to the receiver of your vehicle for you to go camp. You don't have to have a tree, which is pretty cool.
That's neat. Who came up with that idea?
So there's three of us that were found. Well, there's three original co-founders of the company, and one of the guys he just had a hankering one day and said, "Man, what happens when there's no trees or there's just one tree? And so, we thought about it, and there's automotive everything out there, right? You've got the campers that sit on top of the vehicles and the ones that extend off the wheels and all these other things. But we thought, man, the one thing that's missing is a simple way to attach a hammock hitch to your receiver. So here we are.
Wow. Wow. How long have you been selling those?
Well, great question. We did a first round, kind of an MVP as they call it, just a couple
Okay.
months ago. And we had a YouTube extraordinaire post about it, and they sold out in the course of about 7 days. And so we knew we had
Oh,
something. And in about 2 weeks, I'm hoping we are going to launch what's called a Kickstarter to
yes.
fund kind of a mass production of these things.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's we're going to be talking more about it, but we found it. So these are made in the USA, which is kind of cool. We
Neat.
found a guy in Idaho who's going to be manufacturing them for us, and we're kind of putting all the pieces together right now. But there's going to be some new bells and whistles on the new version, and like I said, we'll be up in about 2
Uh-oh.
weeks.
Okay. Now you don't drive with it, do you?
No, you don't drive with it. And my insurance guy made sure to note that you can only put 300 pounds in it before safety problems come about.
Barely make it. We're all putting on weight right now, working
I
from
know, me
home.
too. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
So,
LuckyBird is an e-commerce
yeah,
company with an emphasis in digital marketing. And what that means is we know how to put information in front of people. And historically, we've done it on places like Amazon and Walmart and eBay and very large, well-known
hmm
marketplaces. But we realized recently that there's a lot of information and a lot of the skills and kind of technical assets that we have. We know how to get it in front of pretty much anybody we want to, and that includes places like Facebook and Instagram, Google Ads. And so we've recently pivoted. I guess one of the new revenue streams we're hoping to kick off this next year is doing digital marketing for local companies, and it means more than ever now because
yes.
as we open back up and figure out what the heck are we going to do as a local economy, how do companies like LuckyBird step up in the digital marketing world and help out, if not free, for very budgeted purposes, and let's get our economy moving again.
Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep. We lost your audio for a second.
Oh,
Go,
okay.
go ahead. We're recording so we can put it together.
Okay. Well, the purpose of LuckyBird's marketing efforts in this next year are basically going to be circled around revitalizing Spokane and Coeur d'Alene businesses, because we realize
Wow.
that while we know how to build hammocks and put that information in front of people, we could also do that with restaurant equipment or Leo's Bakery or
Right.
you name it, we can do it. And
Right.
so we've stood up. The last couple of weeks, we've been offering free or close to free marketing services for companies who might need some help getting their product off the ground in a digital way, but also just basically spurring them on to stimulate their own economic scenario.
We're going to see more and more of the digital, the social media, the online promoting and selling and so forth. I think it was coming that way anyway, number one. Number two, I think with what's going on now, it's awakened a lot of people who thought they could put it off for some time. And welcome to 2020 and what it has done for all of us. And we're finding our viewership is up. I like to joke and say, well, yes, I've got my laptop here, and I'm doing my work, but I also have my iPad off to the side on Facebook and some other things to see what's going on out there. And I think there's a lot of that. And so, I mean, you look at the traditional broadcasts and others, and yes, they're up right now because of all the interest and so forth. But they'll come back to where the tradition has been, which has been on a downward slope, or at least even if at the best. And our numbers going up. We went up 79% last year in viewership.
Wow.
I mean, welcome to what's happening. And so we've hit our stride, I think, right now, and are looking forward to. And so I think you're helping small businesses in our area which is our focus too. Our focus here at Spokane Talks is small business and community. And
Yeah.
there's some drawbacks to that because they don't usually have the money to pay for ads and so forth. But the fact is they are, as we're finding out right now, the heart and soul of our communities. And we need to do whatever we can to preserve them. And I'm not talking just about the owners. I'm talking about the people that are employed. And a lot of these small businesses have 10, 15, 50, or 100 employees that are being affected. And so we need to boost them all up. So congratulations on focusing on some of that. And I think it's really going to help our area as we continue to grow and provide some markets outside of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene for their
Yeah.
business, which
Yeah.
is
Right.
really what we're
Well,
talking about. And
yeah. And
I
I
think,
expect,
go ahead.
good. Well, I was, I guess I was going to say there's a trillion digital marketing companies out there. I mean, I think I get hit up on LinkedIn at least a dozen times a day for somebody claiming to be a digital marketing firm, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I fully expect the local digital marketing companies to step up and help these businesses because a lot of them have phenomenal products and great brands. And like you said, 10 people that are under their belt, and these guys and gals that have built their business, they've put a lot of sweat equity into it. And so as we are basically forced to go digital, probably this might be the final change where everything goes digital for the most part.
Yeah.
We need to step up and help our local economies out. And so that's partly kind of what our plan is, at least for the next couple months.
What other plans do you have for the future for you with all the things that you're involved in?
Yeah, well, so that's a greght question. Yeah, I am. I'm turning 32 tomorrow, so I feel like that's young, but it's old. And I've had
I've
a
got
really broad.
grandchildren almost as old as you. Okay.
Well, it's all relative, right?
Yeah.
But I love Jesus, and in my heart's to help people know who God is really. And so I kind of hope that through my efforts and getting, you've already found out I've got my hands in a ton of different arenas, that people see the joy and the love that I share. My employees get to see it through me, and so my heart really is that people get to know God through my efforts. So as for what's next or what I'm doing, I've got my hands in at least a dozen cookie jars at any given time. My hope is that but it ultimately glorifies God.
Well, I somehow figured you had a few things going on up here with ideas and plans and so forth, and I'll be interested to watch and all the things that you do. I love it when we come across people like this that are enthusiastic, have a good heart, and a belief system that is important, wants to help other people. I think that's what our community was founded on, and we still
Mm.
see it out there. We still are, yes, we're a city, we're a county, we're still a town though. And I really believe that. And I found that anytime I want to get to somebody, I usually just have to go through one person. And if I call and ask a question, they'll help me. And don't you find that too?
Very much so. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Scott, thank you for taking the time. How can people learn more about what you're doing in your products?
Yeah, that's great. So LuckyBirdBrands.com is kind of our
Okay.
that's our headquarters. You can see up there at the left. We're
Right.
going to start to post on that the brain food tab there. We're going to start to post about different things that are happening. In fact, even today, we got our first shipment of these 2-ply cotton face masks. They're made in Canada. From one of our brilliant partners, and we purchased 1,000 of them to give away to people in Spokane who are maybe going back to work or out and about needing to travel. And so we'll post on our social media sites as well over the next week. But we're going to house sort of a drive-by giveaway, maybe like a 3 mask maximum for families, and we're just going to give them away. So you can head to LuckyBirdBrands.com.
That's great. Well, Scott, I've enjoyed chatting with you, and I'm sure we'll be following all the things that you're doing if we can keep up with you. Okay.
I appreciate the time very much.
All right, Scott, you have a good day. And for all of you watching, thanks for watching The Pulse of Spokane.
Join us at Paint Night, where you release your inner artist, hosting events in Spokane and surrounding areas. We are the party on wheels and can come to your choice of locations. We specialize in private events, corporate team building, and fundraisers. We are the original paint night and want you to join in the fun. Check us out at www.paintnight.com, and we always offer $10 off with the code Spokane10.
National Barricade and Sign Company is a well-established company founded in 1957. National Barricade has become a well-known business in the Spokane Valley for more than 50 years. Over the years, we have built long-lasting relationships with many cities, counties, and their departments of transportation. Customers come to us because they know they're going to get the best quality service at the best possible price. National Barricade prides itself on getting the job done in a timely manner. We know that contractors must have certain items in a timely fashion to get their job done, and if we don't have it, we will get it. We guarantee fast service no matter how long it takes.
Hi, this is Tim Lane with State Farm with your quick winter tip. One of the most common questions I get is about trees and who's responsible for a fallen tree or branches. The answer comes down to negligence. If your neighbor's tree falls and damages your home, vehicle, or personal property due to a weather-related incident, then your insurance company would cover that as a non-fault loss. If you can prove negligence against your neighbor, city, or county, then they are legally responsible for your damages. If you have any coverage questions or would like a second opinion on your insurance, call my team and I at Tim Lane State Farm at 509-926-5135.
Imagine being ordered to stay home when you have no home to go to. Because of generosity from people like you, Union Gospel Mission is able to provide a place of safety and refuge for men, women, and children who have nowhere else to go. Today, more than ever, the vulnerable in our community need your help. Thank you for your generous tax-deductible gift in their time of need.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You.